All right. After, jeez, after the conversation we had, popping capsules, all the boxes, uh, free range water. Why don't we make some paladins, everyone? We're going to make level 20 paladins. We're going to make 2 of them. This is our first. And the reason that we're going to make them at level 20 is because their subclass has their capstone at level 20. That's one way you could run them, Bubonic. Not the only way. Yeah, Misfit, how about that sports ball? I hope your local team scored more or less points as is necessary to win over the opposing team. Now, to make this paladin, we have an empty character sheet, a mind full of ideas ready to be put onto our electronic paper, and a lot of imaginative people right up here. And so I will call for your all's help in making this this paladin. And so, Nina, being a wee babby to this channel that you are, would you please type exclamation point D100? Or I'm sorry, 1D100. Exclamation point 1D100. All right, what's going on, Hypnotic? You roll a 6. All right, we have a female character. Hypnotic Gamer, will you please type exclamation point 1D10? You roll a 5. We are making another half-elf. Oh, this is getting auspicious, everyone. Hark, would you please roll exclamation point 1D4? Odds. We're favoring our human side, like our first half-elf that we made. All right. Bubonic one, would you please type exclamation point 1D100? I mean, you can always ban them, Hypnotic, if there's causing trouble or there's distress. It's your channel. You make that judgment call. That should have worked, Bubonic. Weird. Oh, alright. Well, I'll get you on the next one. Maybe it was on a cooldown or something. Alright, so Shukan is rolling a 20. We have another neutral good character. Alright, so Bubonic one, let's try one more time. Exclamation point 1D100. Stops on at 26. Alright, we're all natural. We're not going to take feats. We are going to be just ability score improvements. Alright, let's fill this in. So we have a female half-elf who favors her human side in some capacity. That is, maybe genetically, she just appears more human than elven. That could be she appreciates human culture or languages or something else more than her elven heritage, even if it's only 51 to 49. We know that we're going to be a paladin with the Oath of Heroism. We're a medium-sized creature with the alignment of neutral good. And we're also going to be level 20. So next up, Oh Sheeps, would you please roll 1d20? I mean, you don't have to be a half-elf for that, Nina. And O'Sheeps rolls a 7. We are a folk hero. A folk hero. Right. Hark, would you please roll a d10 in chat? Stops on a 2. And by the way, Hark, you're absolutely correct. We're randomly rolling of all the possibilities. We're going for a heroism paladin, and we have a folk hero. Now, I don't know what the event is for number 2, though we're going to explore that in just a bit. I'm going to roll real quick, like 2d8 and 3d6 for the personality traits, the ideal, bond, and flaw. So we have, 6 and 6. Well, we can't have a repeat here. 7. 6, 7, 2, 2, 5. 6, 7, 2, 2, 5. All right, so there's some placeholders for us. We already know our class. And we already know our subclass. Now, paladins do get a class feature. They get a fighting style. Shukan, would you please roll a d4 in chat? Stops on a 2. All right, so we are a dueling fighting style paladin. All right, now we have a half-elf. Half-demon Dan. Was half-elves and half-demons. Welcome back. Good to see you, Dan. Now we... Oh, you know, we can actually go through and determine our elven heritage. And now if we do that... If we come down here for elf, Slaso, would you please type exclamation point 1D3? If we get a 1, I'm going to flip. Where's my webcam command so I can flip my camera? Oh my goodness. We are a half-drow. Like our half-drow artist and our drow and our other drow bard. We have like a family or something. Like something's happening with the drow. We are being led into a bardic paladin quest filled with drow, everyone. This is not manipulated. There's no person behind the curtain doing this. The story needs to be told. The story is writing itself before our eyes. Yet, Nina, you're new to the channel, and you can even see that the things we do build and build and build. This is amazing. I never said there wasn't a cat behind a curtain. I just said there's not a guy. All right, so... Half Demon Dan, would you please type exclamation point 1D100? That you can certainly use that as your oath, Bubonic, but the days of everything is lawful good as a requirement are not as ubiquitous. The bards are going to sing the story of the paladins? Perhaps. Well, we're already starting to churn out ideas. Dan might be busy. Raz, would you give me a D100 roll, please? Oh, an exclamation point. Exclamation point 1D100. Stops on an 11. So not a child prodigy, but we have another young adult. A young adult. All right, Nina, can you please roll me a D6? Stops on a 2. We have a 13-year-old young adult Half-Drow at 13 who is a folk hero, level 20 Paladin. All right, now because she is young, we can modify the height modifier here. Let's just give her 1d6 instead of the 2, and we'll start at 4 feet 5 inches, and she is so she's 4'11". This is our third 4'11" character. And Bubonic One, would you please roll a D4? Exclamation point 1d4. Stops on a 1. So she is 81 pounds. I don't see why not, Raz. I mean, obviously it's not armor made for a 6-foot-tall dude. Yes, it's custom. Yeah, it's cheaper because there's less. And then that's when the armor smith says it's cheaper because it's less, but also it's special order armor, so it's going to cost the same. Gotcha. That's how they get you. All right. So how in the heck are we going to have a character like this? And you know what? That is the fun and the challenge to making a random character. And this is also why I absolutely love starting with the background of the character. Because, you know, Paladin's gonna Paladin, half-elves are gonna half-elf, that's fine. But this one is a folk hero, and in particular, a folk hero who has done some things, seen some things, has a particular personality. Now, let's flesh her out, right? We have her silhouette that's been drawn from the mists of creation. Let's fill it in. Right? We've pulled her stars as a constellation. Now let's be the cool planetarium and make the little laser lights that actually show the image. All right, Guild Artisan and Hermit Folk Hero? Hello? FG, there we go. All right, our skill proficiencies are animal handling, and I'm going to scoot this over a little bit so we can see more easily, and survival. Our tool proficiencies are going to be one type of artisan's tools, and vehicles land. Let's determine the tools that she is proficient at using. To do this, dun, da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Half Demon, would you please type exclamation point 1D20? Welcome back, Shukan. Shukan, would you please type exclamation point 1D20? A 19. I'm gonna need another one now. We don't have 19. Shukan, there's probably a cooldown. Can you give me just give me a 2D20 roll and we'll take the first one. A 15 and a 2. So 17, 16, 15. She is proficient with Tinker's tools. Now we can ask, how did she become proficient with those? And if she's also proficient with land vehicles, you know, like driving a mule in a cart, you know, does she work? Is she, you know, a part-time cartwright? Does she like trick out the old family donkey wagon or whatever? You know, does she invent things on the family farm? Well, let's find out. Let's learn a little bit more about her being a folk hero. Yeah, perhaps, Shukan. She makes her own toys. There you go, Nina. She makes the 14, yeah, the clockwork minions there. All right, so we are going to get our Tinker's tools. We're going to get a shovel. I wonder if she'd name her shovel. It's got to be a trusty shovel. An iron pot. A set of common clothes, and a belt pouch containing 10 gapuz. She's going to have more. She's level 20. Whatevs. All right. Now, her defining event we rolled was number 2. So she's a folk hero. She saved people during a natural disaster. Name the shovel Deliverance for when she has to bury the bodies of her enemies. Is she that aggressive? We'll find out soon. All right, so she is the hero or the heroine of the town because she saved someone during a natural disaster, or she saved people. You know, so if she is the type, you know, maybe she's that maybe she's the tomboy growing up on a farm, you know, wearing overalls, straw hat, goes out, gets a nice farmer's tan, you know, works with the animals, works in the fields. She tinkers with stuff, you know, she finds all sorts of bits and bobs in the barn and she cobbles them together and does all sorts of stuff like that. And you know what? So maybe there's a time when she was, maybe the old homestead was left behind to her, while Ma and Pa or some of the siblings or whoever were left afield, and you know the town was counting on her. Like maybe she just drove her faithful donkey and a cart full of cabbages into town to sell, and that's when the tornado was going to hit, or the big thunderstorm, or the flood. And so with the help of her coordinating an effort, because she stepped up and took command, because you know what, she learned those skills on the farm. She learned to stand up, to speak, to use her strength and her cunning. And so here we have this kind of like a Joan of Arc figure, not set against a war, but in this rural countryside, we have a young girl who stepped up in a time of need, and everyone loves her for it. My cabbage! Yeah, my cabbages. We had a cabbage problem on Tuesday, Nina. The donkey's named Toto? And you know what's beautiful about this character sheet? There's an area for a companion, such as a donkey. So of course, I mean, if we want to give her a faithful donkey, we can do so. All right, now her background feature is Rustic Hospitality. Since you come from the ranks of the common folk, you fit in among them with ease. You can find a place to hide, rest, or recuperate among other commoners, unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them. They will shield you from the law or anyone else searching for you, though they will not risk their lives for you. You know, if we're invoking, so we have this like farm, we have this tomboy growing up on a farm. Now she doesn't have to be. This is just an idea I'm throwing out. If you have a different concept, let me know. But what would a drow have for freckles? Would she have freckles? And if so, if she does have drow heritage, how would they manifest? White freckles? Glowy spots, says those sheeps. Glowy white freckles. All right, so yeah, can you imagine that then? Like you have this just sort of like this kind of cheery. She has the straw in her mouth. You have this young girl grown up on a farm. Probably what? Now she does favor her human side. That could just be her behavior. Would she have something like lavender or red eyes of the drow? Or would she have, is she our blue-eyed, or she has big brown eyes, grown up on the farm with other humans here? What would her hair look like? What would her eyes look like? If we want to make her a farm girl with freckles, so she has that kind of dusky, like maybe a violet gray complexion, and then she has some white freckles. One blue, one lavender, says Slaso. So she has chromatia. She probably smiles, has like that missing tooth, because she's still like, she's losing her baby teeth and whatever. But she's got the big smile, the kind of a little bit of chub in the cheek still, the glowy freckles, missing the tooth, has the straw coming out. She's wearing like the big sun hat, but maybe there's like a little spider pin. There's a little spider pin in it. Either that or there's a spider just actually like hanging off. But of course, what? You're gonna find spiders in a barn, so what? She'll probably play with them. Even if she doesn't know why she likes spiders, it could just be that's the case. She probably picks ticks off the dog too when it comes in after getting out. And of course, the dog lives on a farm. The dog's name is Pooper. Pooper, come home! Pooper, where are you? Oh, come on over here, Pooper, come on. It's dinner time. I say that because that was that was a farm dog that I knew named Pooper. Oh, Nina, is your dog named Pooper also? You just have this wholesome half-drow farmer girl. I love her already. Laker? Okay. So she ended up saving a bunch of townsfolk. Everyone in town loves her. And then, of course, this puts her on the path to heroism. Oh, sheeps? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, come here, Pooper. Time to get your chow on. Ding, da, ding, da, ding, da, ding. All right, now what's her personality like? I mean, we're designing these scenarios, and they of course, those sheeps. And so how does she express herself beyond what we know that she's done? Hey, all right, Disfemist. Hey, thanks for joining us, and also thank you for your polls. In the gotcha capsule. I hope to see you back. Y'all come back now. You hear? Oh, boy, yeah, of course. Like, her overalls, you know, she only has the one. The other kind of flops down. And, you know, like, one of the knees in the denim is, like, absolutely blown out. And she still has a scar from when that happened. One of your cats named Glenda, says Hark. A battle donkey. Riding, well, perhaps. Every good paladin needs a trusty steed. You know, a mount that won't balk in the face of danger. All right, her personality, number 6. Thinking is for other people. I prefer action. Well, I mean, there's probably like a quaint, you know, like a red and white checker shirt, or even just like a plain white shirt or something underneath it. And her other personality trait is 7. I misuse long words in an attempt to sound smarter. Yep, very action-oriented. There's a torrential rain a-coming, everyone. Now load up in the cart. We've got to brambulate down the road to get to safety. Yeah, she's trying to use big adult words. You know, she understands concepts, but she doesn't get the verbiage of it. Either that, or maybe she has a firm grasp of common, but what if Elven, or in particular Drow words, sneak in? And so, you know, she tries to sound you know, it's like, you know, you pick up some French words, you know, or you pick up, you know, a little bit of language, and you try and use it, but maybe you say the wrong thing. Yeah, she says Pacific instead of specific. She says warsh instead of wash. If she lived in our world, she'd probably call the state where Boston's located Massachusetts. Wooder. Yeah, W-O-O-D-R, Wooder. Warshin and Wooder. You know, so she tries to sound grown up. Especially, look, if she is the praise and adoration of the countryside, then she wants to sound, like, she wants to brag a bit. She wants to sound smart. You know, congratulations! Oil becomes ol. She's 13, oh sheeps. That very well may be the case, depending on the pilot. There you go, oh sheeps. Now the question then is, are you the human or the drow? Alright, what is her ideal? What does she look forward to in the world? Number 2 here is fairness. No one should get preferential treatment before the law, and no one is above the law. All right, that's Pharaoh Sheeps. That's right. No, ain't none of you should be getting preparation treatment afore the law. My cousin's a layer, and I'll tell you, he'll sue the britches, the tar out of your britches, even, if he found out about what's going on. My darling gal's so smart, she's smarter than our number-counting rooster on the farm. There you have it, everyone. The bar has been set. I think we're just going to put this right here. We're going to pregame our standard array real quick, and I'm just going to put that right there. Bless her heart. What's her bond to this world? She tries so hard, she does. That's how she got so famous and skilled. Her bond is 2. I worked the land, I love the land, and I will protect the land. I work the land, I love the land, and I will protect the land. And lastly, her flaw, because let's face it, everyone. While she's a perfect angel right now, we gotta give her a flaw. She actually has to be bad at something. Because right now, honestly, she is a perfect angel. That's right. Oh, jeez. What are we, druids? Her flaw is number 5. Oh, jeez. Oh, sheeps, what have you done? What have you taught your child? Secretly, I believe that things would be better if I were a tyrant lording over the land. Can you imagine her just like, again, in that like scrappy farm attire, her bald fists on her hips, you know, just like, you know, got the straw hanging out, the missing tooth, the white freckles on the drow complexion, big straw hat, spider hanging down, and she has these... One day I'm gonna be one of them kings. What's women folk, though? Very ambitious, yeah. One day, all them folk, they love me already, but they's gonna tip their hats, and I'll never go without a how to do when I walk down the path. Sure enough, you best place your bets right now. I'm gonna be one of them monarchials. She's not going to be taken seriously in some way by any big city folks she ends up partied with. And you know what, Hark? That makes for great storytelling, because right now, she's a big fish in a small pond. And then when she goes out into the bigger world and realizes it's not about her, that's where you have awesome storytelling. I kind of wonder if her shovel's just not her main weapon. And of course we have someone so she tinkers, right? So she's probably made her own custom armor. She works the land. We have like Joanna Deere here, who's probably going to invent a better plow. And is going to be just the hero of the land here. These here lands already strewn with orchards, apples what fall from trees. These lands will be better under me. Miles and miles. M-A-L-S, by the way. M-I-L-E-S is malls. Miles and miles of fertile land. Plowed up by me. And my thinky-doos. By my hands. Her folk hero story is that she saved the counting rooster from certain death. Oh, so the counting rooster's the pride of the town? The spade of hope is what you want to call her shovel? She's a shovel knight. Oh, alright. This is now the second story in a row where we've had a heroic chicken that the entire town worships that was put into peril. The counting rooster's the mayor. You know what? When she was 12, she probably won the furthest spitting contest. Because she used where the missing tooth is, and she was just able to like get a good arc and catch it on the wind. For sure, at the county fair, she was able to spit the furthest. In her age group. But she's not going to tell you that. She's going to say she spit the furthest of the town. Why do we make such amazing characters, everyone? That's right. I'm already royalty. Why, I was Princess Patui back in the village. I got to wear a sash and everything. Boy, howdy. If I didn't feel like 20 copper pieces right there, if I didn't feel like 10 silver pieces on that day, I got to ride in the wagon with the counting rooster. And at least for that one day, people tipped their hats and said, "How to do." Oh, of course, that's a Sunday dress, the equivalent. That sundress is her garb. That's her, you know. That's my temple dress. Well, if you got to go to sleep, Hypnotic. I mean, if you're having fun and staying up, but you have her Sunday dress, and that's your best dress, and yeah, exactly. I haven't worn my shoes what didn't have holes in them. Except for the one for the big toe. But I like feeling my toes in the grass is what I tell everyone. And they say, sure enough, that makes sense. Alright, anyway, let's continue. So we have the personality of this character. You know, she has been boisterous. Now, we can say, look, she's 13. How in tarnation do we have a level 20 character who's only 13 and grew up on a farm? We live in a world of magic and fantasy and wonderment. We live in a world where, you know what? If she has been blessed because, maybe the local god or goddess of farming or fertility of the land, of bounty, you know, of animal strength and all of this? What if for that heroic act of selflessly saving the counting rooster, she was just blessed? She might not even know that she has these powers. And it just happens. And so she's too young and innocent to abuse it. And so she has infinite power granted to her by this, figure, like Obadiah, Yondala, whatever other gods or goddesses of harvest. You know, maybe she even saved the counting chicken on Temple Day when a big storm was a brewing. The winds came hooting and hollering down from the skies. Like no one's business. Like all get out. The spirit of Applejack is with this child. I'd love to see how everyone would design this farm girl paladin. You mean graphically? Like if we all could draw her? A magical talking pony. This is the goddess that gifted the power to the paladin. Okay, so in this, I guess in this world, the goddess of farms and what, like animal husbandry or fertility, not just of people but of the soil and the land, you know, of protecting the land and nourishing, is sure could very well be a pony. This is D&D. A horrific storm hit the region, and only the village of the little girl survived because she saved it somehow. All right, Hypnotic, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. That could be folk hero by default, Slaso. Oh, you want to see her armor designs? Hey, she's a tinkerer. She could whoop up all kinds of stuff. All right, so we have our character's character. Now we got to add stuff, you know, like what do you get for being a half elf, which is fun. It's not as fun as what we just did, though. All right. Now, absolutely. I mean, both for being a paladin, she is a farmer's daughter. So while all of the half elves get 2 in charisma, we are absolutely dropping 1 in strength. And now here's where I'm held up. I could make an argument for Dex also. I could especially make an argument for Constitution, because you know she's scraped her knee more than once. She's probably broken a bone. She's probably a tough girl. I could also make the argument that while she's not intelligent, she is wise. She is wise because she has experienced the world and weather, and you know, she already has animal handling. She already knows the birds and the bees when it comes to, you know, the donkeys and the trees. You know, survival. She's gone down to the pawpaw patch. Yes, I'm saying way down yonder by the pawpaw patch. She's probably even gone way down yonder by the Chattahoochee, where we know it gets hotter than something else. And so, you know, wisdom, I think, could be a very good argument as well. Hark, you think that Khan? I mean, look, Nina, there's probably someone in her one room schoolhouse that has a reputation with the boys about going out to the woodshed. Look, you can't be ignorant. You can't be ignorant of, you know, the meanderings of the flesh when you grow up in a community like this. All right, so Hark says Khan, and let's put it in the Constitution. She's a tough girl. All right, now we already have her age, her alignment, her size. Her speed is 30 feet, 15 climb, 15 swim, 0 fly. She gets 60 feet of dark vision. You have advantage on saving... Oh, Fey Ancestry. We have advantages versus being charmed, and we can't be magically put to sleep. We also get to choose 2 skills. I think athletics. I was thinking nature. I think that would work, Nina. And I'm glad you suggested that, because there's nothing wrong with giving someone proficiency in a skill that otherwise that's their dump stat. Yeah, I think nature's going to work here. You know, I don't think those that she's going out of her way to be persuasive. I don't think she has the, you know, because she's still young. Like, it's just a natural charisma. I think where people go to her, she doesn't so much project it out, if that makes sense. However, persuasion might come up on her skill list as a paladin, so we can check that out in just a second, Nina. Common, Elven, and one other. There we go. We're a half-elf. Nice and quick. Quicker than 2 jiggles on a jackrabbit's ass. Classes. Paladin. Oh, spit. Rin. Rin, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome. All right, our paladin, we're loading her up with 20 levels of goodness here. Your proficiency bonus is 6. She has spell slots, and she is a full half caster. 4, 3, 3, 3, then 2. Being a paladin, we are a D10 hit die class, and being level 20, hey, we get 20 of them. Have a cat butt. Thank you for passing out the cat butts, Nina. We are proficient with all armor because we tinker with it, as well as shields. And you better believe she's come up with a very creative shield in some way. She is proficient with all simple and martial weapons because, you know what? Ever since she was knee-high to a grasshopper, she's been swinging around forks and knives and branches and all sorts of stuff. You have to go to bed, but it was super fun, and thank you again for the goodies. You're very welcome, O'Sheeps. Thank you for sticking around. I know, Diadems, I have to make that a command. I'm very sorry. I have not done that yet. That's on me. There should be a shout-out command to make things easier. But Ren, you are absolutely welcome to shout out your channel. For those of you who love horror, vampires, and even talking about homebrew stuff, and Ren is a guy to go to for that. You should see the plate armor she's made from the pig trough. all the homebrew. Also, everyone, Ren gets picked on by his player characters because they keep wanting to get through his story and survive. And so I would absolutely... Oh, hey, Diadams, thank you for gifting that to Ren. I would absolutely urge you all to go and support Ren, throw him some bits, and load up his dice pool so he can fight back against those bullies. Homebrew, you mean moonshine? Alright, so our saving throws are wisdom and charisma. Then we get to choose 2 skills from athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion. Well, you know what? If we were blessed by the harvest pony herself, I think we's good with the pony. As well, I think we can persuasify folk, the common people, with whom I share an adobe. They keep picking on him because they keep surviving his games, diadems. Like, he tries really hard to act as forces of nature and inevitability, and they defy him at every turn. It's not fair. Now, starting weapons, whatever, she's level 20. She probably, you know, doesn't have to worry about all this right now. She does get, as a class, Divine Sense. That's Detect Good and Evil. She's also going to get Lay on Hands. At level 20, she has 100 points of healing or poison or disease removal. And so that's her coming up and good game! You know, and you know, or even like Yamule, gets bit by a fly, or there's combat. She has to pull the arrow out of its haunch and kind of, you know, it gives him a good slap and boop, it heals. Her fighting style is dueling. She does get spell casting. I'm not worried about her spells right now. She gets Divine Smite. However, at 11th level, it becomes Improved Divine Smite. We also have Divine Health. She's been in so many swimming holes that she's already been exposed to the shakes and the creeps and the snots and the poops. She's got it all, and her body can no longer be diseased. She is going to get an extra attack and an aura of protection. And this is going to be out to 30 feet. She is going to get an aura of courage, also out to 30 feet. And she's going to have a cleansing touch. Rob the robot. You should have seen that fly. It was the size of my hand. I swears it. I swears it by the harvest goddess herself. If I swatted it, I swear I'd be getting into fisticuffs with that fly. All right, now her sacred oath, and this is where we're going to explore the Oath of Heroism as presented in Unearthed Arcana. Remember, this is playtest material. Let's review it. Let's talk about it. Some things might be absolutely busted. And mechanically, she's a broken character. In my heart, she's an awesome character. Mechanically, in 5th edition, she might be broken. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Alright, so the tenets of heroism strive to be known by deeds, not words. Every hardship serves to challenge your abilities and harden your resolve. You didn't choose this path, but it's yours to walk, and it will carry you into legend. And like raw stone, your body must be worked so its potential can be realized. We get oath spells, and so we're going to drop those here. Her oath spells. She's going to get 5 levels of them. Boy howdy. Yeehaw. Expeditious Retreat. Now, this is a case of, and it's an unfortunate name. You don't have to retreat when you cast that. In fact, you can, boom, charge into battle. All the better with it. And also, Guiding Bolt. We get Enhance Ability and Enthrall. Haste. Protection from energy. Compulsion. And freedom of movement. Then lastly, we get Commune and Conjure Volley. Kind of fun adding that ranger spell in there. Rob saying if it was that big, you should have killed it before you got bit. And Raz is correcting and saying it was a sturge. But that doesn't make for the good storytelling that you punched a horsefly. All right. This is our Chan Div here. We get Peerless Athlete. I mean, she already won counties. That last year, she won at the county fair. She could spit the furthest. You can use your Channel Divinity to augment your athleticism with Divine Favor. As a bonus action, you gain advantage on all Strength, Athletics, and Dexterity Acrobatics checks for the next 10 minutes. Or Legendary Strike. You can use your Channel Divinity as a bonus action to guide your attacks. For 1 minute, your weapon attacks score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20 on the D20. Aorg. Yeah, we have cats on the channel. So if y'all have cat butts, you're welcome to post them in chat. We have Mighty Deed. Your actions on the battlefield can supernaturally bolster your abilities and demoralize your enemies. Whenever you score a critical hit or reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you can choose one or more creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, minimum 1. All the chosen creatures are affected by one of the following effects of your choice. The creature gains temporary hit points equal to 1d6 plus your charisma modifier. Or, the creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or be frightened of you until the start of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until the start of your next turn. Whew, we are definitely a show-off and a bit of a braggart. Then we get Glorious Defense. Your blessed glory on the battlefield can misdirect an attack. When a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to gain a bonus to AC against that attack, potentially causing it to miss you. The bonus equals your charisma modifier, minimum +1. If the attack misses, you can make one weapon attack against the attacker as part of the reaction. That's pretty good. Now, this is 15th level, so, you know, we're getting into abilities that are a little bit more ridiculous. And I mean, we'll talk about the mechanics. I'm listing this out and we're thinking about it as it applies to this character. And lastly, we have become a living myth. You can now empower yourself with the legends, whether true or exaggerated, told of your great deeds. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 10 minutes. You are blessed with otherworldly comeliness, gaining advantage on all charisma checks. Once on each of your turns when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can cause that attack to hit instead. If you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to succeed instead. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. I'm a real legend, all right. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. So everything about her is, I'm the best. I'm the best y'all are ever gonna see, and I'm in my prime. One day I'm gonna be a lordy lady over these here parts. And the glory of the pony is gonna spread across the hills and the dales and maybe even the valleys too. Now it's time to drop our standard array into our character here. And for sure, we're going to give her a 15 strength and a 14 charisma. Because she's got it both. She is also a tough girl, and we're going to give her a 13 constitution. I think she'd have a 12 wisdom, and you know what? Her dexterity's average. She's definitely more on the muscular side. So, and if you have a different suggestion, let me know. I can always go back and correct this. So there's a 16 strength starting out, a 14 con, and a 16 charisma. Now with this, we get to add 10 more points. 10 more points to her, because we are taking all stat bumps instead of feats. And for someone like her, I definitely see the strength going up to 20. The charisma to 20? I don't know. It's not that she's not charismatic. But if we did that, we'd only have 2 points left. And I'd almost wonder if we wouldn't be better served, if not in Constitution, then bringing up her wisdom a little bit more. Right? So we used 4 points here. We have 6 points remaining. Yes, Raven. If we put her charisma to 18, we've used 6 of our 10 and we have 4 points left. And so either her wisdom would bump up to 16, or she'd be a huge stack of hit points at a 16 con and a 14 wisdom. I don't know, how would you like to put the 4 other points? You want to dump them all in con? Or do you want to split con and wiz? You want to split? 2 in con, 2 in split it? Alright. So she's going to become a bit more wise on her journey, and she is going to be a tough girl. She is a tough cookie, everyone. I'll take a licking in a fight, and I'll keep dishing it out, too. Alright, this is going to give her a 5 strength, 0 dex, 3 con, -1 int, 2 wisdom, and 4 charisma. She now gets a name, everyone. She is no longer a pile of stats. And so if you have a name for her, I'm open-minded to it. Her strength saving throw is going to be a 5. Athletics is an 11. Dexterity is 0 across the board. You know, she's average flexibility, average mobility. Constitution, she can stay in a fight. Saving throw, Arcana, History, Investigation, -1. However, Nature and Religion are going to be at a 5, despite that. So she studied her reading books, and she's learnt well. Wisdom saving throw is going to be 8, animal handling 8, survival 8, insight, medicine, and perception are 2. Oh, looks like a pretty bad gash there. I'll go get a leaf. I'll put a leaf on it, and we'll just hold it. That leaf will paste to your skin and lickety-split. Charisma, 10 saving throw, 10 persuasion, and 4 in the others. Slaso, you want to call her Winanang? Subtle. Valera, Penelope, but her friends call her Penny. Alright, so we have some suggestions here. Penelope, Penny, Valara, Winanang. We'll see what type of a name we can come up with the suggestions. Alright, armor class, honestly, I don't know. If she has magic armor or whatever, I'm just going to put in a question mark. Because she may very well be full plate or something different, magical. She's invented it herself. Her initiative is +0, as that's a dex check. Passive perception is 12. That's her natural awareness. A little bit of a space case, not terrible. Hit points. Oh, she's going to have a thick stack of hit points. She's going to get 10 at first level because her hit die is a d10. Her remaining 19 levels of her 20 is half +1, so that's a 6. And then for all 20 of her levels, she gets bonus hit points equal to her Constitution modifier. And so let's take a look at our farm girl here. So she has 60, and then we have 19 times 6. 4 carry the 5. 114. So this is going to become a 70. And this is going to be 184 hit points. If she attacks with a strength or thrown weapon, then she has a +11 to hit. And Dex ranged is going to be honestly, it would just be ranged because finesse you can use strength or Dex, so it's just ranged. You know, so it's not that she can't shoot a slingshot. She's just not the best shot at it. All right, if she's attacking with her magic, she gets a +10 to hit, and to resist her, to resist the effects of her magic, people need an 18. That's really good. So we come down here. We are a paladin. Spells prepared equals our level, or half our paladin level plus our charisma modifier. Half because we're half caster. So 4 plus 10 is we can prepare 14 spells in addition to our oath spells in all of the areas or all the levels that we have slots. And so this could be anything from paladin spells right here. Our spellcasting ability is Charisma. That was an 18 to save. That was a +10 to hit. And her lay on hands was a pool of 100. So if we take these names We could do something like, Velathia? Velathia, Penelope, Winanang. I'm Velathia Penelope Winanang. Y'all can call me Penny. So we have our character. There's no cantrips to worry about, and her spells are modular. So I want to talk real quick as we wrap up this first character about the spell. Like, all of this is absolutely thematic for someone who is a hero. Now, I will say, especially when Pete and Jeremy over in D&D Time reviewed this class, they thought that it stole the thunder from the folk hero background, and in some ways made it redundant or irrelevant if now all of a sudden your class was defining your background as well, and you were getting mechanical benefits beyond just a couple skills and some tools. It's not... I don't have a qualm with that perception. Hey, just because I'm not looking doesn't mean you can scratch. Ma'am. Ma'am. No. As well, I do think that, you know, the Oath of Heroism seems redundant to a Paladin by default, as Paladins are heroes. You know, even Vengeance Paladins, even Oathbreakers are heroes in a way. And so, you know, we do think of Paladins as heroes, but this is almost saying, well, we're making a hero class, but we're gonna shove it through the filter of a Paladin. So it kind of straddles the fence in that regard. I don't have a problem with the spell list. There's a lot of really good stuff here. Man, put that away. Very useful spells for getting into and out of combat. And absolutely, your personality backs everything. It writes itself, everyone. The character that we randomly generated is consummately this Oath of a Paladin. I don't, you know, they were saying over on D&D Time too, I was paying attention to what they're going for. Like, this is champion fighter, kind of steps on their territory. And, you know, you get Channel Divinity. It lasts for, you know, it lasts for a minute, which is most combats. Most combats are over in 3 or 4 rounds. And, of course, a minute is 10. I don't know if that's necessarily bad. My gut reaction, I haven't run any calculations. I think it's fine because this is someone who is more, I've risen up from the common folk, and I do things just a bit better. You know, because I am Gaston. I fight like Gaston, and I expectorate like Gaston. She did too. She won that county fair spitting contest. You can use your Channel Divinity to augment your athleticism. So nothing really wrong. Good roleplay, good utility, like out of combat stuff. Or honestly, even in combat, if she needs to grapple or get out of a grapple, you know, someone tries to grab her, be like, "Oh, you're coming with us, girl." Like, the HE double hockey sticks I am, rah! And she's bursts out of the goon's clutches. Princess Patui, that's right. That's written on her sash. It's all embroidered like. Why, I think it took Miss Winifred all winter to stitch that sash, and she had it just in ready time for summer. That doesn't tell you how long it took. Mighty Deed, your actions on the battlefield can bolster your allies and demoralize your enemies. So we're getting choices, and I don't believe that we had choice before in Paladins, so it's giving us a lot more diversity. Bobo, hey, I know it's early morning for you. Thank you so much for being here and for hanging out as long as you have. The pressure's on, everyone. We gotta hit partner, because in 5 more months, Bobo should be deserving of a 2-year badge, and only partners get those. So we gotta recruit a friend, a family member. We gotta get that 75. We can do it. There's so many of us out there. Yeah, now don't you go dirt in that sash. Exactly, Durin. Oh, poops. I busted a seam on the side. Miss Winifred's is gonna tan my hide for that. The counting rooster knows exactly how much time it took. 2 bucks and 1 buck. So here, a creature gains temps. 11 temps. Even at 7th level, and it wouldn't be 11 then. Not terrible. I mean, it'll help absorb 1 hit. And you only get this when you score a critical hit. When you score a critical hit or reduce creature to 0. Now that would proc on Legendary Strike, so there is some overlay and combo here. And also, if we drop to 0 hit points, it's conditional. Now she would probably say, "Y'all, let me finish him off. I'm gonna make him see stars." And then she just kind of comes in, just lays him out with a punch, like she punched that horsefly that one time. So it's something that, it could be procced, it could be milked, kind of. The frightened condition, there's a lot of monsters and such that aren't frightened, not able to be frightened. And it's only until the start of your next turn. So I don't know if there's necessarily anything super broken about Mighty Deed. Bobo, I don't want to disappoint you. We have the people. We just got to coordinate our attendance, and we got this. Now, Glorious Defense, your blessed glory in the battlefield, can misdirect an attack. So when a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to gain a bonus to AC against that attack. So this, at 15th level, we're not epic. Epic level starts at 17. However, what this means is we get the shield spell effectively. We get the shield spell every turn, as long as we sacrifice our reaction. So this, especially compared, let's say that she, non-magical full plate, that's 18, plus a shield, that's 20. Let alone if she has magical one or the other, okay? Or any other magical effects boosting that. Glorious Defense isn't magic, so it can work in an anti-magic zone, and it can't be counterspelled. We can do this all the time, and that means we are sitting on a 27 AC. Honestly, ever since we hit 5 Charisma, which would have been around level 8. Now, obviously, level 15, because that's when we don't manifest it. And so this turns us into an AC tank, because it could be even higher with magic. We could be rocking an AC of 30 at level 20. At level 15 even. I'm sorry, level 15, not even level 20. And we still get to use our reaction to make an attack as a part of the reaction, which in many instances we do not get to do, because that has to be triggered. The reaction has to be triggered by someone moving out of combat range. Glorious Defense is absolutely super strong defense and awesome offense, because we go swing, extra attack, swing, And we're getting a third attack effectively with Glorious Defense. This is... one or the other. I think both make this kind of broken mechanically, in my opinion. Now, if it said Glorious Defense if you only had light or medium armor, maybe. Or, again, one or the other. Yeah, Fluffy, a Glorious Defense is, it's really strong. And you know what? Especially because this is a non-magical bonus, and it's untyped bonus, and so other things could help even stack further. And then lastly, Living Myth. I don't think there's anything here. If anything, at level 20, this is your capstone. You are, you are a living saint amongst human beings at this point in time. This is very okay. This is appropriate for level 20. If you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to succeed instead. Last for 10 minutes. In other words, it's going to last the big bad evil guy last fight, unless you kind of cheese it and milk it out over, whatever. So you can't fail a saving throw. You know what? You're a paladin. You're not failing saving throws because of that +5 charisma in a 30-foot radius, whatever other shenaniganery that is going on. When you make it a weapon attack and miss, you can make the hit attack instead. Okay. So, more guaranteed damage output. Not too bad. You're blessed with otherworldly comeliness, so you gain advantage on charisma checks. Really good. Solid level 20. I mean, it's very okay. I almost... would it be better? I don't know. For any of you out there, what if we swapped Living Myth with Glorious Defense? Would that alone, would that fix it if we touch nothing else? Because Glorious Defense absolutely seems like an epic level thing. This is just a lot of, utility. Or maybe Living Myth gets nerfed a little bit where it's, I don't know, it lasts not for 10 minutes, but lasts for 1 minute, but you can use it a number of times per long rest equal to your charisma modifier. Something like that might be a good swap out. But anyway, you know what? Obviously, we didn't make a game-breaking paladin. We made a girl who has a pure heart of gold, someone who wants to help people, who's proud of herself, who has confidence and strength, and is very much eager to go out into the world and even to step up and be a leader in it one day. And so when we put all that together, I think we have an awesome character. All right. I'm going to get up and take a break, everyone. I got to get a snack and a drink. And when we come back, we're going to do this again, and we're going to make another paladin. And we're going to find out what kind of a hero, or anti-hero even, perhaps, this is going to be. And if we get another drow or half-drow, that'll be absolutely uncanny. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be right back, everyone. Sheeps would say get up and stretch, so you better do it. Oh, hey, congrats on the move, Nina. Yeah, get everything packed. Go do what you gotta do. Remember, lift with your knees, not your back. Stay in good shape, Nina. We don't want you to be a hurting puppy, okay? Thanks for hanging out with us.